Rare if ever in your life do you get the opportunity to go into business for yourself but not be by yourself in an industry that's $60 billion strong. And I've now been through multiple recessions, a global pandemic, and every time we come out of it and we have massive growth.
Hello, everyone, and thanks again for tuning in to the latest edition of Fran Coach's Franchising 101 podcast. I am Tim Parmeter, founder and CEO of Fran Coach and your podcast host. Today, we're going to welcome one of our franchise partners here to talk about their brand. Today's franchise is a home service concept. It's one that we all know exists. It's simple, yet it never goes out of style because it kind of rolls with the style. It is service is one people tend to think that they can do on their own, but quickly realize it's way easier and produces a way much higher quality product by just using professionals like this franchise. As a home service, of course, it has a lower investment, lower overhead, and is much easier to scale. And this one is a brand that's been around for decades with nearly 500 locations, but still tons of open space. So before we get to this amazing franchise, I'll do a quick reminder of who we are. Fran Coach is a national search firm dedicated to working with individuals interested in owning a franchise. We are partnered with over 600 of the top brands in the country, spanning nearly 70 industries. Our number one goal is to help properly educate you on all facets of franchise ownership to determine if it's the path for you. And if so, we're then going to help you find your absolute best fit. All right, so that's a little bit about us. Now let's get to the good stuff and our guest. And joining us today is the president and CEO of our featured franchise, which is CertaPro Painters. And our guest is Mr. Mike Stone. Mike, how are you, sir?
I'm doing really well. We just had an incredible month of April here at CertaPro. So honestly, I'm really feeling really good today.
Are you feeling good enough to give away a free paint job at my house?
Well, I don't know if my local franchise owner would sign off on that, but I like where you're going. We everyone loves anything for free, and but I bet you we can give you an incredible value for painting your home. I know our franchise owners love to enrich people's lives and take something that's dull and lifeless and make it beautiful again. That's the beauty of painting, right?
Yes, yes, indeed. And the easy part about me always throwing something, trying to get something for free is I know no one will actually come to where I live because I am in the middle of nowhere part of Arizona. Like some people joke, this is my witness protection house out here. So usually you're safe on that because it's too far for anybody to drive. So
Well, we have a franchise in Flagstaff, Arizona. I mean, that's kind of out there, isn't it? Where are you?
way southeast. So like, yeah. So, but no, in fact, just moved into a brand new house, and this is going to come up as we talk to you about CertaPro and want to learn all about the business model, the amazing opportunities out there. But I think franchising is such a people-driven business. I always just kind of want to start there. Tell us a little bit about you and kind of your journey into this crazy thing that is franchising.
Yeah. First off, thanks so much for asking. So I'm a proud alumni of the University of Iowa. Go Hawkeyes. We were talking about Caitlin Clark. So she's certainly bringing some awareness to my university. Got a degree in business. And one of my college roommates was running a college-based painting business in the summers and driving a really nice car, doing really, really well. And I had gone off and worked as a sales rep for a custom golf club manufacturer. And then I did some work for a custom home builder. And that's kind of how I cut my teeth with the trades. And he goes, "Hey, I've been doing this summer part-time painting gig, and there's this concept called CertaPro Painters, and they're launching a new franchise opportunity in San Diego. So I'm leaving Iowa, and I'm moving to San Diego, and I just spent two brutally cold winters in Chicago, and he's like, so why don't you move out to San Diego and help me launch this painting business?" And I'm like, San Diego. late 20s, San Diego, Chicago, cold winters. All right, I'm in, right? So I moved to San Diego and I started doing residential sales for Dan Hutchins, who's still a franchise owner today, here 25 years later. That was back in 1999. Yes, I'm that old. And that's how I got started. I was working as a sales rep for a local franchise owner and did residential sales there and had a lot of success. We were one of the very first franchises to get over $1 million. And then I went into commercial sales. And then I met my wife in San Diego, and she was from Northeast Philadelphia. And we had just gotten married and had a newborn baby. And she says, honey, I really want to raise our kids near family. And I had some family on the East Coast. And so I left working in a franchise, and I had many different roles in Dan's business, and joined the corporate team and started training all the new franchise owners because I had had a lot of success working in a franchise. And who better to tell you how to run your business than somebody who had actually been doing it? And
Yeah.
and CertaPro really, the corporate entity, invested in me. Our core values are deliver what you promise, have pride in what you do, respect the individual, practice continuous improvement, and embrace the possibilities. But this practice continuous improvement, they kept investing in me and developing me and my leadership skills and sending me to all these different leadership development training classes. And lo and behold, if you're a lifelong learner and you're in an industry like painting where there's incredible fragmentation, Tim, we own 2% of the market. We're the largest painting company in North America, around $750 million. We own 2% of the market. Yeah. So I saw this incredible opportunity in runway, and over the years, and about 8 years ago, I had just about every role operationally in the marketing, started the first marketing co-ops. And the founder of the company said, Mike, take us to $1 billion. And we were about a $300 million company. I guess it was 7 years ago, not 8 years ago. And so here we are, and we're just getting started. So that's kind of my journey in a franchise and on the corporate team. And I am truly blessed when I tell you that. I've been surrounded by people who care about me, both franchise owners and staff members who invested in me and really allowed me the opportunity to grow and develop with this great brand.
That's awesome. I love just again, kind of the randomness, so to speak, of how it all started, and it speaks to the organization, CertaPro as a whole, like how long you have, like, that's been your only home basically for the whole century. So super cool to hear all of that, and which just prompted a bunch of questions about the business model I want to talk to you about. But so let's go really simple for this.
Yeah.
Because I think in franchising, let's be honest, we're not too smart. The name of the franchise is usually pretty obvious as to what it does. So CertaPro Painters, give me a second, painting, right? But the residential, commercial, and I think it's something super simple, but like, as you've talked about, it's never ever going away. So talk a little bit about kind of residential, commercial, inside, outside. How does that all kind of mix together for CertaPro?
Yeah. So look, in the best of times, everyone's painting, and in the worst of times, everyone has to paint their most valuable asset, which is their home or business. So it's the most cost-effective way to beautify and protect a property is to put a coat of paint on it. So there's something really powerful, right? Sherwin-Williams doesn't sell $25 billion worth of paint. And one of the most stable and growing businesses in the Fortune 500 space, if they're not serving a whole pile of painting contractors out there in North America. So our business model, people go into franchising because they want a proven process and they want to be an entrepreneur. And the thing that I love about CertaPro is you can go into business for yourself, but not be by yourself. We have 85 people that support you as a small business owner, your success. We give you world-class training. We give you state-of-the-art software. You have your own in-house ad agency. You become part of a leverage marketing co-op. You get resources in terms of how to buy products and equipment at a much better price because of our leverage buying power.
Yeah.
So those are all reasons why it's a really attractive business model. There's no inventory. That's all kept at a paint store. So relatively low overhead to get one of these businesses started, but incredible return. We have one of the strongest item 19s in the franchise disclosure world, which just shows, for really $250,000 investment to start a business, and you can grow it very quickly. And so that's what makes our space really unique. And the owners are people who want to be leaders of men and women. Our mission is to build big, profitable painting businesses. That's what we're shooting for. We're not looking for people to do painting. We're looking for people to be leaders of men and women who then lead their painting teams, whether they're employee painters or subcontractors. It just depends on the state.
Gotcha. And you touched on something there, right, that I want to come back to is owners are not they're not wearing all white all day long, right? They're not climbing on ladders. They're not with the brush in their hand. They're not doing those things.
They're not ever doing any of that. Correct.
Yeah. So because sometimes people think that's a thing, right? But they're the owners. They're the business builders out connecting. They're coming into my house to do a consultation. They're really managing their crews that are out in the field doing the work.
Actually, that's how it starts the first year or two, Tim. But we have what we call, and it's called the path. And what it is, it's a roadmap, step by step, on how to build a big, profitable painting business. What roles do you hire? When? What leadership skills do you need to work on? Do you need to work on goal setting and review? Do you need to work on coaching? As your business gets bigger, do you need to work on how do you run effective meetings? Then as your business becomes really big in scale, then it becomes about situational leadership. How do you lead 2 and 3 layers down? So usually in the first couple of years, you'll be doing a little bit of the sales and estimating, but the goal is to, as quickly as possible, to surround yourself with a management and leadership team that takes that responsibility. And then you're now in kind of more of a CEO type role in a small business where you're casting a vision, you're developing strategy, you're developing your staff. That is what's attractive about these businesses. And painting just happens to be our widget. Right. It's a very sustainable widget because, as I said, it's the most cost-effective way to beautify and protect someone's home or business is to put a coat of paint on it. And right now, we still don't have any robots painting people's homes because every home is unique. Everything is different. Houses settle differently. Not everything's cut at a perfect 90-degree angle. And so, we got quite a runway of opportunity still when it comes to leading. And look, there's less and less people who can do it really, really well, like CertaPro. Right. So when there's demand through the roof and not as many people who are really good at it, well, what do you think that does to the price of a paint job? To get a quality paint job, you're gonna pay more, right?
Yep. And all those referral sources out there, realtors in particular, are going to hey, do you want done something cheap or do you want it really done really well? They're going to constantly refer your owners more and more business based on that quality of work.
Yeah. Here's the coolest stat ever, Tim. We believe one happy customer on a residential side is worth $34,000 over the life of a 10-year franchise agreement. So one happy customer will go out of their way. If you've enriched their lives by painting their home in a really nice way, they'll tell 3 or 4 or 5 friends, and then they'll paint with you probably 2 or 3 more times over that 10-year period. So between the referrals and the repeat business you get just residentially, it's worth $34,000. So think about a commercial customer who has giant buildings or managing lots of HOAs or retail spaces or malls and hotels. Think about all those opportunities as well. Or they're even greater.
Yep, absolutely. So you were talking about that owner role and kind of the growth potential. There's a lot of people we talk to, you guys do, probably people listening that have been in the corporate world maybe a little like disenchanted with it, hit that kind of glass ceiling. I'm working my ass off. Why can't I get a promotion? Or you get laid off. Talk about being an owner and being an owner of CertaPro is, well, hey, as you work hard, you're going to build the business. You kind of give yourself a promotion to CEO, and there's a really good chance you're not going to get laid off. Owning your own business from that standpoint. So it really gives those people that have maybe a little corporate frustration that opportunity to really like take control and build this to be however big they want.
Tim, think about it. You're working for a Fortune 500 company, probably a mid-level manager. You've been doing it for 12, 14 years, got a nice 401k, and that individual's company gets sold to somebody else's company, and now they have redundancy in your role, and you're all of a sudden out, and you're in a situation like that. Now, the cool thing, and this is a true story, you can take your 401k rollover, take a portion of it, use it as startup capital, grow your business as a CertaPro franchise owner. Let's say then you sell the business 10 years later for millions of dollars, which does happen. And now your 401k just ballooned in value dramatically. And it was because you took the chance to be in control of your future versus having some corporate entity say, oh, your role isn't needed anymore here, right?
Yep. Hey everyone, I want to take a moment to spotlight one of our premier franchise partners, First Team. First Team is a content restoration company. What is a content restoration company, you might ask? Well, everyone is familiar with the companies that come clean up the mess after an emergency, like a fire or a flood. Those companies come clean up the mess and put your house back to livable, but they don't touch your actual stuff. First Team is there for what really matters, your stuff. Like furniture, clothes, photo albums, even your killer collection of baseball cards. Since it's easier to repair than replace, insurance companies love First Team, and all of those emergency restoration companies you see everywhere, not only are they not your competition, but they are your referral partners. Also, since First Team doesn't do the emergency part, their owners enjoy a great 9-to-5 type of lifestyle business, a steady stream of insurance and referral-based customers, and as part of Empower Brands, First Team owners receive training and support that is second to none. Here at Fran Coach, we'd love to help you find the perfect franchise to own, and maybe, just maybe, it is First Team. So get in touch with us today to learn more about becoming a First Team franchise owner, and let us help you create your better tomorrow. Hey everyone, I wanted to take a quick break from our podcast to tell you about our amazing friends at Entrepreneur. If you're looking to become a franchisee or simply learn more about business ownership, and guys, let's be honest, you're listening to the Franchising 101 podcast, so we know you have some interest in this. And I really encourage you to go to entrepreneur.com to check out all of their great content and resources. Seriously, Entrepreneur has everything, all the way from a bookstore to the best podcasts, webinars, and videos, plus information on upcoming events and the latest articles that seriously, they cover all aspects of franchising and business ownership. If you're having trouble deciding which franchise is right for you, start with Entrepreneur's renowned Franchise 500 ranking, which highlights the best franchises of 2022. For 45 years and counting now, Entrepreneur has been and continues to be the most widely recognized and respected authority in the franchise market. Digital and print subscriptions are available, so you never miss out on anything. So seriously, what are you waiting for? Go to entrepreneur.com right now and learn more. We just had last week one of our Fran Coach clients that just was getting launched with a franchise, and we had talked about his, the fear of you're leaving that paycheck, right? And he was actually like didn't hate his job, which a lot of times people do, but he was just like, well, how'd you get over that fear? And it was just like I was ready to bet on myself. I wanted a chance to grow and build something that was for me, right? And so that's really what this is all about and what you're talking about. So I want to come back to CertaPro and painting specifically, because I think this is an industry that on the surface is kind of simple. It's painting. I am the least handy person on the planet, but I could probably paint, right? I don't know if it's going to be very good, right? But I feel like at least I could do that. So, but you'll hear people sometimes go, "Oh, it's painting. I could just start this myself. Why do I need the franchise?" And you talked already about the support, all of the things that you're going to have, the in-house marketing team. Yeah, you can start a painting business. How are you getting customers, right? In-house marketing. But you touched on briefly something that I think gets forgotten in franchising is the buying power. So if I, as Tim, the homeowner, or Tim's painting company, I want to go to Sherwin-Williams or wherever to buy paint, I'm paying retail price. CertaPro owners, not so much, right? Or all the different things that you've got for that buying power that's lowering how much those owners are spending, which is then like increasing the margins for those jobs. So talk about some of the places that buying power comes into play.
Yeah. So first off, the most expensive part of running a painting business is labor and paint, right? So labor is controlled by market conditions. However, we spend probably half of your training teaching you how to make your painters more productive. So when you have a painter who's more productive, that means they make more money personally because they can get more work done than they could working somewhere else. If you can get more work done working for a CertaPro and put more money in your pocket, why would you go work anywhere else?
Right.
So one of the things when I became president of this company is I made a pivot. We were a marketing and lead driven company for 25 years. We are a production driven company, and yeah, we'll do $750 million in painting, but we have capacity to do probably $900 million in painting. Now you tell me, let me ask you, Tim, how many industries out there do you know where people have enough of the workforce to get the work done? Everyone that I know is complaining we don't have enough people to do the jobs.
Right.
But at CertaPro, our franchise owners treat our painters with respect. They get paid every single week. They have career path. They have opportunity. We understand cultural differences. We're trying to lift them up and celebrate that they're such an integral part because they spend the most time with our customers.
Right.
And that's a little nuance that a lot of people overlook, right? But we also have leverage buying power beyond the paint with vehicles, equipment, general liability insurance, cell phones,
Right.
uh, the clothing that I'm wearing. I mean, honestly, Tim, I could go on for an hour talking about all the spots we leverage our buying power. So our franchise owners, at the end of the day, what's the most important thing is seeing our franchise owners make money. Because if they are profitable and make money, what are they going to want to do? Well, they're going to want to reinvest and grow their business and make more money.
Right.
And the more money they make, the higher the multiple they're going to get when they sell their business. And guess what? We sell 20 of these businesses every year. So we have a resale program that a lot of franchise concepts do not have a competency in, and we do.
Yeah.
So nothing worse than building this asset and not being able to realize the equity. Well, there's lots of different ways we can help you realize the equity at CertaPro. You can sell it to another buyer. You can sell it to your staff. Corporate, we have several company-owned locations. So those are all different ways that can help a franchise owner realize the equity they're building.
Yeah. And again, I think that's people kind of forget that sometimes. Like, yes, you're going to make the money along the way. And if you find the right fit and you work hard, you're going to make a lot of money along the way. But when you leave your job, you don't get to sell it to the next person, right? You don't get to pass it on to somebody with family. With this, you do. It is that ultimate exit strategy with this. You talk about the labor force, and I know in some states with CertaPro, you have to have employees, but a lot of times we're working with subcontractors. For somebody that's sitting out there thinking about franchise ownership, they're gonna like almost cringe a little. Ooh, subcontractors. Oh, that's so hard to find. That's kind of the point of a customer hire in CertaPro, that you've already done that. But there's some real advantages to those subcontractors, as you mentioned. Like, this is how they get paid, right? The harder, if they can get the work, they don't know how to find the work, they know how to do the business.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the ways CertaPro kind of helps owners, because that most people that are listening, they've been in the corporate world, they've hired people, but they really haven't done that. How do you guys help with that?
Yeah. So the first thing you'd go through when you go, the number one concern if I want to buy a CertaPro business is where am I going to find the painters? And the last thing I left you with just recently is we have more capacity right now than we do actually have paint jobs. Hard to even fathom that right now. So many people want to work for CertaPro. So what happens is this, let's to be very clear, this industry is incredibly fragmented. There's 500,000 documented painting businesses in the United States alone, right? Today, right? 5,000 of those painters work for CertaPro Painters, right? That means there's 495,000 that don't, and I would venture to guess probably 200,000 of them would like to work for us. Most of the painters are really good at just doing a paint job, but that is only a small portion of running a painting business. You said it. You have to market your business. You have to go do the estimates. You have to do all the payroll. You have to do all these different things where most of our painters really what they want to focus on is, hey, I want to know what the scope of the work is. I want to take something that's dull and lifeless and make it beautiful again. And I want to make a customer happy. And we give them all the tools and resources to identify where those people are, how to create a business model that makes it compelling for them to want to go work for CertaPro. And in very short order through training, they get that skill set. And then we want to create a painter's paradise as to why you should only want to work for CertaPro. And the reality is that's what the end result is when you have really good franchise owners that respect their people, treat them well, pay them regularly, continue to feed them good quality amount of work that's good work to do, then why would they go elsewhere?
Yeah, exactly. I love it. So the you guys have been around for 30 years, right? Makes me, because 92, I think, which makes me sad to think that that's been 30 years because that's when I was getting out of college. And so, and 400-ish franchise locations around the country. So somebody listening going, man, this sounds freaking awesome. Like sign me up. But they're like, oh man, they're probably sold everywhere. But not exactly true, is it? Talk about, you guys have tons of availability around the country.
Yeah, so we have 360 franchise owners who operate 500 franchises. So we have, probably 60 or 70 that own multiple franchises. But we have some incredible opportunities in Toronto. We have open territories in Detroit. We have open territories in Long Island. We have open territories, a gold mine of opportunity in San Francisco. LA, we have some opportunity. We're sold out in Sacramento and San Diego now. So those are some of the markets that are just jumping out at me off the top of my head. But then Biloxi, Mississippi, Bismarck, North Dakota. If there's 3 Sherwin-Williams paint stores in your town, there should be a CertaPro there because every Sherwin-Williams sells $1 million worth of paint. And paint is only about 12% of a paint job. And that $1 million, they sell 900,000 of it to painting contractors. So that's a good rule of thumb. And Sherwin only owns about 40% of the paint sold to the painting contractor market. So there's, tons and tons of opportunities. And don't forget, we have a resale open in every market. So if you're in Atlanta or Chicago or Denver or Philadelphia, where the headquarters are, there's probably, I think we have 24 businesses listed for sale because they're at that time where they're ready to exit and realize their equity. And that's always a good day because the new owner comes in and brings fresh new ideas and energy and capital. And those businesses usually thrive when we get a resale too. So, I have lots of opportunity for you if you're interested in buying a CertaPro.
Love it. Come back to the resales for a second, because I think people, when they first start looking, there's all these things that are going to cause fear to them. Oh my gosh, this franchise, they've got 20 some resales. Does that mean everybody is failing? Like, no, these guys have been in business for a long time. And that is ultimately that exit strategy is, I am done. I've built it. I've ran it. I am ready to go on to the next thing. I'm ready to sit on the beach. that ultimate exit strategy. So the resales, like every now and then, like every franchise, like has had a clunker in there somewhere. But
Sure.
yours have been very long tenured owners that are just ready for that next thing. And so it is an opportunity to take over something where existing customers, business, referral partners, those type of things, and really hit that ground running at a high rate of speed. And again, like you said, gives you guys a chance to kind of give a little boost of energy in a market.
Yeah, so there are two different types of entrepreneurs. Those that want to start something from scratch, and we have 100 open territories, and you should be looking at one of those opportunities because the investment or the capital required to do that's going to be less. There are a lot of people out there that say, hey, I want cash flow. I want a support system. I already want a management team. I want to buy something and know my skill set is going to refine it, improve it, and take it to the next level.
Right.
Now, you're going to pay a higher price for something that is kicking off a nice cash flow, but we do that every day as well. And that's a really healthy franchise concept. Why do you think I'm buying some of these franchises myself? I'm in business to make money too, and some of these franchises are really successful. So that's a really good day when a franchise owner can sell in the open market. They can sell to their staff, or they can sell to the franchisor. That's a really healthy spot. And look, we've been around 32 years. Some of these people are in their 60s and they're ready to retire and realize the equity they've built. Or to your point, hey, it wasn't for me. I had some success with it. I want a new challenge in life, and that's okay too. Or and some of them were like, hey, this is not what I expected, but I would like to get something out of this, and I have a program for them before something bad happens, right? Or they
Right.
just want to walk away. We want to help them realize some of their so. There's all kinds of different resales out there, and that's very healthy. It's way better than just shutting your doors and going dark in a market, right?
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's all super cool stuff. Mike, I think I got two more questions for you. One is one I ask everybody, but another one is going to be specific to you and CertaPro. So, did you choose CertaPro because their colors were yellow and black, like the Hawkeyes, or did you get in there and then change it after the fact?
So we went. It's so funny that I that's the best question because every time I go to a meeting, and I oftentimes wear my black with my gold color, and we did a brand refresh in 2013, and the brand marketing advisory board, our chief brand officer, and all the marketing people and the market research, they said that gold color, like when you put it on a billboard or when you put it on a signage, it really pops, right? Really stands out.
Yeah.
So they chose that color. And then when you overlay it with the black, I'm like, I'm in, I'll take it. I had no decision making power. I wasn't in the president or CEO role at that time, but I certainly was not gonna be unhappy about the conversion to black and gold. So that was just a bonus for me.
Now, if it was like the Iowa State Cyclone maroon color, would you have
Yeah, I'd probably have to
okay,
veto that today. Yeah, you're probably
okay,
right.
just
No
just
cyclone
just
color allowed.
just checking. So there's a lot of blue in Fran Coach because I am been a Cubs fan since like forever, which don't hold that against me, but I'm like,
Well,
what do
you did finally get that one in what, 2016? Is that was the
20,
year?
2016. Yeah, you probably see a couple things back behind me on the wall that have Cubs
Yeah,
related
that
things. So
I actually went to the game in Cleveland where I think they won the series there. I was at that
uh,
game with my really good friends at Sherwin-Williams. They were kind enough to take me to that game with my son.
very nice. Super cool. And then the last real question is there anything we've missed today about CertaPro that you'd really want to be able to share with people today?
Well, rare if ever in your life do you get the opportunity to go into business for yourself, but not be by yourself in an industry that's $60 billion strong. And I've now been through multiple recessions, a global pandemic, and every time we come out of it and we have massive growth. And so I would just say, look, you get the opportunity to have a roadmap or blueprint on how to build a big, profitable business. We own 2% of the market. We're the largest player in our space by a factor of 4. 2% of the market. If you want to be a business owner and are a great leader of men and women, you can grow this business as big as you want it to be in your market. There's absolutely nothing stopping us from really growing. I mean, our biggest owner owns 8% of the market. 8% of the market. That means 92% of the painting that professional contractors do in Athens, Georgia, is done by somebody other than Jake Kaiser, the CertaPro of Athens, Georgia franchise owner.
Yeah.
So that just tells you the opportunity in front of us. And I just think it's a rarely unique spot to be as an entrepreneur, to be able to play in that sort of space and runway of growth opportunity, and a brand that has stood the test of time with the proven tools, systems, and leadership development that can allow you to be the best version of yourself, Tim. I hope that resonates with your listeners.
Sign me up, dude. Let's go.
Okay.
No, I love it, and I greatly appreciate you coming on today. It's good to meet you and learn a little bit about your story, and certainly a ton more about CertaPro. So, Mike, I thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you as well. Let's have a great rest of your day. And look, your Cubbies are playing really well. I think they're in first place right now.
Well, back to second, but yes, but they're doing very well and not in last place. It's usually a good thing for us Cub fans. So for sure. So
take care.
Excellent. Thanks, Mike. Thanks again to Mike, and of course for all of our loyal podcast listeners for tuning in. We hope the Franchising 101 podcast continues to provide insights into the amazing possibilities that can be achieved with franchise ownership. Really, what are you waiting for, folks? Reach out to us. There's never any fee to schedule our call. Let's help you learn a little bit more, determine if this is the path for you. And if so, which franchise is the best one? Maybe it's CertaPro, but we got 600 others out there as well that could be the match for you. Find us at francoach.net, franchising101podcast.net. Again, everything with us is going to be the Fran Coach team when you talk to me or any of our other amazing coaches that we have. Again, never any fee for our service. Folks, reach out. We can help you create your better tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next week.